Hi everybody. Now we are going to see the structures within the parotid gland. Here is the parotid salivary gland, which is a serous salivary gland. It is situated over here. You can see the parotid duct over here, which is cut and it is reflected. You can see the parotid duct is piercing the buccinata muscle and opens into the vestibule of the mouth opposite to the upper second molar tooth. The parotid. We have reflected the superficial part of the parotid gland to show the facial nerve, and you can see the facial nerve. This is the trunk of the nerve, dividing into two divisions, a temporofacial and cervicofacial. The temporofacial gives off branches, the temporal, zygomatic, whereas the other one gives off upper buccal, the lower buccal, marginal mandibular, and cervical nerve, which supplies the platysma muscle. So that's we have digged out the parotid gland and shown the trunk of the nerve, which comes out through the stylomastoid foramen, stylomastoid. So this nerve divides the gland into a superficial part and a deeper part. You can see the deeper part. Next, here is a retromandibular vein. Here you can see the retromandibular vein is formed by the union of superficial temporal vein and the maxillary vein, which is cut from the infratemporal fossa. On reaching the lower aspect of the parotid gland, it divides into anterior and a posterior division. This is the posterior division, this is the anterior division. Here is a retromandibular vein. We have already seen the posterior division is joined by the posterior auricular vein to form the external jugular vein, whereas the anterior division is joined by the facial vein to form the common facial vein, which drains into the internal jugular vein. And so that is placed in the intermediate position, the retromandibular vein. Now, deeper to the retromandibular vein, you can see the upper part of the external carotid artery, which we have seen in the digastric triangle, and this artery runs upwards, and behind the neck of the mandible, it divides into its terminal branches, namely the superficial temporal and maxillary artery. These are the two terminal branches of the external carotid artery. So all these three structures are within the parotid gland. Superficially is the facial nerve, the two divisions. The 5 branches are also there, radiating from the anterior border. Then next to that is the retromandibular vein, and the formation is by the superficial temporal and maxillary. It is within the parotid gland and divides into an anterior and posterior division. Anterior division joined by the facial vein to form the common facial vein. The posterior joins posterior auricular vein to form the external jugular vein. Then deeper to that is the terminal part of the external carotid artery, dividing into its terminal branches. That also happens within the parotid gland. So these are the three structures within the parotid gland. Now my colleague Dr. Raj Prasad will talk about clinical anatomy.
Coming to the clinical anatomy, If there is any penetrating injuries over the parotid gland, it can lead to damage of the auriculotemporal nerve and the great auricular nerve. So during recovery, the auriculotemporal fibers may enter into the nerve sheaths of the great auricular nerve and join with the great auricular nerve. So during salivation, the auriculotemporal nerve has to stimulate the parotid gland. Instead of that, it stimulates the nerve fibers of the great auricular nerve that leads to erythema over the skin of the parotid gland and sweating over the parotid region. So this condition is called as a Freiss syndrome or gustatory sweating. It is one of the complication of the parotidectomy surgeries. Tumors of the parotid gland is common among the salivary glands. One of the common benign tumor of the parotid gland is called as pleomorphic adenoma. Almost 90% of the parotid gland tumors affect the superficial lobe of the parotid gland, and the surgical procedure to treat the condition is the superficial parotidectomy. So the superficial part of the parotid gland is removed and the superficial and the deep lobes are separated by a faciovenous plane of Patty, where the facial nerve is the main structure which separates the superficial and the deep lobes. So whenever during superficial parotidectomy surgeries, we have to be careful to avoid injury to the facial nerve. Thank you.